All right, all right. Hey, hello, everybody. It's Anthony Karls again. We're going to talk a little bit about local SEO today. Part of what we're talking about is what a data aggregator is. So, part of what we do when we do our quick audits for our clients is really make sure the basics are done right. So, these are some of the most simple things. They're not hard to do. You can do them yourselves. You don't need to hire us to do them, but we do this for our clients. We renew these every single year. It's real important that they're done. And they're called data aggregators. And essentially, what a data aggregator is essentially a massive database of business listings, and it's used for two different purposes. So, one purpose is they're a comprehensive database of listings, and then other platforms will get their information from those platforms. So, a lot of times you'll find your business, especially if you've been around for a while, listed on other websites. Where they get that information from is a data aggregator. And a data aggregator will, for a business that's been around for a long time, they'll get some of that information from Google if you've created a Google My Business page, but you didn't create a data aggregator site, and that data aggregator is then going to send it to maybe something like Yellow Pages. So what it's used for primarily, if you're doing it the right way from a local SEO perspective, is we're going to seed these sites first. We want our information to be there first and foremost, because what Google does and other search engines do is they're going to validate the information they have against that data aggregator. So there's typically there's four big ones that are often talked about. There's six that we will use with our clients. So the four big ones, they're Localese, Axiom, Infogroup, and Foursquare. And these are just big, comprehensive databases. People don't typically use them for anything. These are typically used generally for data research projects, but they're very trusted sources of information. And again, what they're going to do is they're going to seed a lot of other sites with your information, and then search engines are going to check to see what do they have on their search engine site from a user, whether that's you or a user that inputs your information there, against the data aggregator site. And one of the factors that will help influence ranking is consistency. So NAP consistency, name, phone, address, written the same way. So written road, ROAD, instead of RD, period, or RD. That would be considered an inconsistency in the address. A name. If in one of your names you put Sterling Lawyers LLC, that would be one of the businesses that we work with, versus Sterling Lawyers, that's a name inconsistency. So all of these things are like little red flags where the search engines are going to look to go validate. They'll be like, oh, this looks like it might be the same thing, but it's a little different. So I'm not going to trust it as much. And they can't actually make that perfect match. So what we want to do when we work with clients, when we do our audits, is we want to go through, check all these data aggregators to make sure that for every location you have, it's listed in the data aggregator correctly, and it exists in the data aggregator period. Because if we can check those two things, we're going to see a lot of other things work well for us over time. And we're going to do a really good job setting up our map rankings with Google, where you're going to see a lot of the impact from a business perspective, because that's going to flow through more easily. Because once we go and audit the address there, one of the things that Google's going to go do is they're going to go check these outside sources to make sure the information is correct. So we're going to make sure the source info is correct, so that we're going to start getting more and more trust, and that will help move rankings up.